Doesn't get much cozier than this. Winter van life meets hammock life and tiny wood stove and snowstorm outside. Honestly, I forgot that I even owned a hammock because the van has been such an absolute mess the past few weeks with working on the build and just not having anywhere to put anything because I have no storage. But that is about to end because I made a lot of progress on the upper cubbies today. Yesterday, I put in the baseboard for the cubbies on the right side, or I guess the left side, the driver's side. And then today I put in the sidewall so there's a nice solid plane for screwing into things. And I used riv nuts, so it's like super solid, but it's kind of a pain in the ass because when you put the board up, it's like the rivets are sort of like into the metal, but you don't know where they are because you're putting the board there, right? So you can't see what you're doing. So in the past, I've tried using like permanent marker, rubbing that onto the rivet holes. And then this time I tried paint. That didn't work very well either. So I went to the thing of like making a prison shiv or a prison shank out of one of the rivet bolts, I guess you would call them. And you essentially like file the end down to a pointy bit, and then you chop off the end with a jigsaw. And then you get this little piece, this little nub that you can screw into the holes. And then you can like bang on the board, so it creates a little indentation where it's supposed to go, the holes. And it worked out really well. So that's in, and then I put up 3 ceiling boards, which are going to make up the roof, so to speak, or the ceiling of the cubby space. And then tomorrow I'll probably be able to finish it, other than painting, which I'm not going to do right now anyways. But yeah, I just need to put the vertical sections in. I have to decide what kind of sections I want, and then yeah, I'll have storage space, which will be really nice, because then I think tomorrow, if I have time, or maybe the next day, I'll be able to record a cleaning my messy van video, which will be really cathartic because it's just been a disaster zone for, honestly, I think like months at this point. I don't remember how long ago it was that I moved into the van, but yeah, pros and cons. It was really nice to move out of my mom's house after so long of not having my own space, and even having the van but not being able to live in it because it wasn't done enough. But now we're like almost there. We're just so close to being done with the draft of the van. But it was super cozy working in here today. I mostly didn't need to do much out in the garage, which is good because it was getting down below freezing and my fingers were like really cold. But in the van, it's always toasty warm because of the wood stove. And I was starting to enjoy it a little bit. I guess I've been getting into a rhythm with working on stuff every day. It's just taking my mind off not having any money to buy food. I'm just trying to like focus on the things that I can control right now. And what else? The stain is looking really nice for the ceiling. I still have to figure out how I'm going to store all the boards in my dad's basement because it's too cold for doing it anywhere else. But I've been doing layers of tung oil, which is a natural, probably the best natural finish, on a test board every day. And it's building up this really gorgeous sheen. It's bringing back the vibrancy from the stain. Like I talked about with it, like it looks amazing when it's wet, but then when it dries, it looks like old worn out barnwood, which is kind of a vibe in of itself, but not what I was going for. So it's looking really nice. And I guess that'll be the motivation to get through the really long process of applying multiple layers of tung. I'll probably have to do 6 to 8 layers, and each one takes 3 days. So that's like almost a month's time, but at least I know that it's going to look really good because I've got a test sample. And I think that's important with any project, especially creative projects, to like get the minimal viable product, which is sort of the business term for it, or the demo, or whatever you want to call it, so that like you know that all the work that you put in is going to be worth it in the end. Like you're 100% guaranteed that it's going to be paid off. As far as food goes, I got a few donations, about $40 when I posted the video about game over for the van build, and that was huge because I was able to go to Wegmans and just pick up some liver. Liver is like the most important food for me. It provides copper, which is really hard to get on an animal-based diet, and it's honestly hard to get from a lot of foods, but I just feel so much better when I get enough copper, and liver is definitely the beef liver in particular is the best source for it on planet Earth. Like, if you don't know, copper is the most important nutritional element for creativity. It's important for ADHD. It's important for dopamine. And if you're low copper, it's basically 100% guaranteed that you're going to feel depressed and low energy and not able to come up with any ideas. And that was what happened, like, when I ran out of food. I mean, it just becomes this endless trap where you don't have money to buy food, and then your energy starts going down because you have like low quality food that's not giving you the nutrition that you need to even like function, and then like obviously you make even less money because your energy is even lower. So yeah, I'm looking forward eventually to making a guide about depression, probably poverty too, because I have like incredibly deep understanding of how they actually work now. And I don't think that, I mean, really, from like watching the videos out there, I don't think that 99.999% of people even understand the basics of how it works and how to get out of it. I think most people just kind of like go around in circles, like I did for probably a decade of my life, or even more, going back before college. But that's probably the video that I've been looking forward to making the most, because it's the problem that I think most people struggle with the most, is just like the lack of energy, lack of money, and feeling like you're stuck in this trap where everything is a negative feedback loop. It's like you can't do A because you need B to do A, and you also need A to do B, and it's like, that's why they call it a trap. Like, if you live in the projects, for example, you're just surrounded by drug dealing and violence and televisions blaring and people arguing, and it's like you want to get out, but this circumstance that you're in is like draining all of your energy, so you're trapped, and then you don't have money to buy better food, and so your energy is low, and it's like all the things that I've talked about. Yeah, I'm excited to make that video because I have figured out how to do it. There's no like quick fix unless you get like really lucky for, I don't know, a viral video or viral song or something like that, or actually winning the lottery. But there are steps that you can take to gradually make progress and like dig yourself out of the hole. Anyways, looking forward to getting back to filming barefoot videos too. I just have felt like I had to get the cubby done because things are such a mess, and I just got to a point where I couldn't wake up another day and just have things be in utter chaos and not be able to find my filmmaking gear because it like disappeared under some pile of like wood or bedding or cardboard boxes or bottles. It's just like, oh my God, I'm so excited to be able to just put things up in the cubby and just have a clean space to work with, to live in. So yeah, that's my report today. I'll probably see you guys tomorrow. Stay warm out there. Peace.